Well, I just rekindled my interest in an old favorite game of mine, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and it's thanks to modding. Now, this is a game that I have already put in probably an ungodly amount of time in compared to the average player. There is the original Xbox 360 version game that of the game that I had back when around the time it first came out. And I think I sank around 81 hours or something in there before that game ended up killing my original Xbox 360 via Red Ring of Death. That was the one game I was playing when I got the three-fourth Red Ring Circle. That was just heartbreaking, to put it mildly. But I mean, hey, one hell of a final game to play that particular console on. And then there is, of course, the 40 plus hours I've currently put onto the Steam version, and especially the past 10 plus hours I've been doing here after I started fooling around with mods. And well, the base game by itself is already damn fun enough on its own, most of the time. VR missions excluded. I fucking hate those goddamn things with a burning passion. But yeah, modding has modding files around here and there has definitely changed things up enough a little bit here for me to make the game fun to replay and experiment with, and I'm probably going to be doing more of that here when I'm done with this today. So yeah, it's just real fun game, Metal Gear Rising. It's not the most I know it's not the most on a technical level, at least mechanically complex hack and slash kind of game that you could play. There's probably several other games out there that have been released in the past few years, as a matter of fact, that could, at least on a few things, outdo Metal Gear Rising on a few key points in terms of gameplay mechanics. But I've yet to actually find a game that could a game that has the Zandatsu gameplay mechanic or something similar to it, or cut and take, as this game's main mechanic was advertised as back when it first came out. I don't think I've seen a hack and slash game give you the ability to just cut almost anything in the environment in addition to enemies in all manner of crazy ways or directions that you can, then just take their spines from them and then heal yourself off those spines. It's just surprisingly fun as hell to do, and it never gets old no matter how many times I do it. It's just one of those... yeah, I mean, I thought I had something else to add there, but I guess I don't. It's just fun as hell, never gets old. And I wish there were more action games that had a similar mechanic, that similar to the Zandatsu mechanic. But it's possible there might be a few out there that I just simply don't know about. But all the same, though, even though I've spent literally over 100 plus hours on this one game here and all that, and I pretty much got the thing down pat here on everything except Revengeance difficulty, the hardest difficulty on the game. Once I get started playing it, I may take breaks from it, or along with a handful of other games I may play in the interim. This is one of those games to where once I get started playing it, I have a hard as hell time putting it down after a while. I mean, it happens eventually, just like with a handful of other old favorites of mine. But this is definitely one of those games that takes its dear sweet time boring me, for lack of a better description, because it's just so much damn fun, and the music of the game is just eargasm inducing. I know this is a game that, when it comes to its story and all that, as far as Metal Gear fans are concerned, is a bit divisive on some respects here, but the music is definitely one of those things here that pretty much everybody who is even tangentially familiar with this game here can agree is freaking kick-ass from point A to point B. It's just top-notch sound design. Anyway, I should probably shut up about this now because I might end up going on a whole tangent about Metal Gear as a series if I don't stop myself here. And yeah, I should probably just stop myself here and get to the main thing that you're all here for. So, without further ado, let's jump into something decidedly a lot less action-heavy than Metal Gear Rising, and that is the final arc for Higurashi When They Cry Rei, Batsukoishi. Okay, I'm coming through on this thing okay, right? Yeah, okay, good. Perfect. So, I have absolutely no idea if this is another arc I'll be one-shotting, just like I did Higurashi, or if this is something I'll have to get done in multiple parts, but either way, we're almost done with Rei. Then after that, we can finally move on to Higurashi When They Cry Hope Plus. The final visual novel thing that I'm aware of here in regards to Higurashi as a whole. We're getting awfully close to getting all of Higurashi completed. Batsukoishi, the most awful daydream. Within these pages is a Bible of blazing passion for today's modern apathetic youths. Even though it was meant as an after-party for Mikishi Hen, it completely ruins the impact of that chapter. Well, that's unfortunate. For Mikishi, I mean. Deemed too dangerous for consumption, this legendary scenario was sealed away. And I'm about to undo the seal. Continue only if you vow that you are truly degenerate. Now here's the problem I'm having with this thing already. Based off this description that I just read, I've yet to see why this thing it is deserving of the subtitle "The Most Awful Daydream." Because if anything, it may be potentially threatening me with a good time, if you ask me. Although that being said, it is possible for the degeneracy levels to get too degenerate even for me. Because if I'm being honest with myself here, I'm probably pretty vanilla compared to a number of people I know on a lot of things, but I'm not going to get into that because who wants to hear about my kinks and fetishes? First line in and I'm already losing. Off to a great start, eh, Keiichi? I don't know why you're crying so hard about this. I mean, this seems pretty par for the course as far as the order of the universe is concerned. It's like the rules of nature. The sun goes up and then eventually comes down. Rinse and repeat. That was how it came to be that Keiichi Maebara once again played an embarrassing punishment game, and I just realized I forgot to drink some tea that I left brewing. So I will be right back. And I'm back. Yeah, I actually had some green tea set aside that I was intending to drink before I started this stream, but I completely forgot about it until just now, so fortunately I'm gonna have a bit of a caffeine boost now throughout this whole thing. But unfortunately, that probably also means that this damn thing's gonna run through me, and I'm gonna have to make a couple bathroom stops throughout this whole thing, so expect that. But yeah, I didn't get a full night's rest last night because I was too busy fooling around with mods on Metal Gear Rising until like 3 in the morning, and then I had to force myself to stop so I could only get like 5 hours of sleep approximately before I had to get up in the morning and take my car to the mechanic and just start doing a few other things. Excuse me, almost burped. After that. So yeah, I need a little extra caffeine right now to help get me through this, and well, give it a few minutes, give it about 10 or 15 minutes, it'll probably do its thing in short order. But yeah, it's just what I was saying here before I started all this here. Metal Gear Rising is one of those games where once I get started playing them, I have a hard as hell time putting them down because they're just so much damn fun for me. Especially now that I've started messing around with mods on top of everything else, because that's just increasing the fun tenfold in some cases. But I'm going to end up repeating myself, so I'm just going to continue on. Ah, yeah, that's right. Nature. I'm following the rules of nature by losing as Keiichi. That was how it came to be that Keiichi Maebara once again played an embarrassing punishment game. For the sake of his honor, we'll keep exactly how embarrassing it would be a secret for now. Oh, so you're gonna tell me later, huh? What the hell are you doing to him? Sticking a butt plug up his rear end or something? Jesus. What the hell could he possibly be doing that won't make him marriage material? Well, then again, it's not like as though his future wife-to-be would have to know what he'd shove up his rear. Must be something relating to a public spectacle. Oh, I see. So in this arc, you're now the dress-up darling, hey? Funny you should mention that, because there's a whole manga series that's all about that sort of thing. And we're playing this music for this? Dramatic much? Keiichi was just experiencing firsthand what it meant to cry into one's pillow. Oh, bullshit! There's no way he's never cried once in his pillow before this moment. Fuck off. Okay, so which one do you actually want to grant you power, God or Buddha? You gotta pick one, son. Just then. Who are you, and why are you speaking to me from a dark vortex in my ceiling? Oh yeah? Who's more reliable than Buddha? Wait a minute. Is that you, Ushi? Wait a minute. Mikashi. Wait a minute. Hold on. Mikashi. Trying to refresh my memory. Let me look at something. Okay, no, it's not. part 78, like I thought. Never mind. Anyway, when did you three get in here? Are we seriously going to just ignore that they spontaneously developed the power of teleportation? Really? Can a man get some privacy in his own bedroom in this universe? Jesus Christ. Is it me or is it me or does the music sound a little bit louder than normal? All right, who's squeezing me? Stop it or I will sue for sexual harassment. Squeeze. The four men engaged in a tight group hug. They're all squeezing me! It's a gang squeeze! It was a touching scene of ardent friendship. That's cope, Keiichi.
Kei, あなたはどうして勝ちたいんですか? 負けたくないから勝ちたいんですか?
When it's a win or lose kind of game, I think that goes without saying, Cloud. Why are you called Cloud anyway? You don't have spiky hair and I don't see you carrying a buster sword around. Are you called Cloud because your head, that's where your head is? By any chance? In the clouds?
その消極的な姿勢に問題があるのです。ビリを回避すれば罰ゲームにはならない。そんな後ろ向きな闘志だから勝てないのですよ。
Or maybe it's because he's constantly watching everybody in their business from up above. Like Big Brother. Holy shit. Turns out in this particular universe, Ushi is an agent of Big Brother.
確かに今の俺は優勝狙いじゃない。罰ゲームさえ回避できればそれでいいと考えている。
気づいているようだね。罰ゲームを恐れるがゆえに君はいつの頃からか優勝を目指す貪欲な牙を失ってしまったんだ。
Is greed really applicable when my goal is self-preservation?
その牙を取り戻したとき、K は本当の力を開花させるのです。さすが人生の先輩たちだぜ。でもどうやったら俺はその牙を取り戻せるんだろう。
あなたは罰ゲームが恐ろしくて牙を失いました。
Well, you must have some dentures lying around, don't you, old timer? Could I borrow some of those?
ですが、罰ゲームを思うとき、再び牙を取り戻すこともできるのです。
クラウド、それは一体どういう意味なんだ？
だから罰ゲームですよ。
例えばミオンちゃんだ。いつも君に恥ずかしい衣装を着せる張本人だね。そのミオンちゃんに逆に恥ずかしい衣装を着せてやるのはどうだろう。
Yes, but that would actually require me to win, and to make her, and to find a way to get her to end up in last place, no? It would take more than just simply ensuring that I don't end up in last place.
ミオンに着せられて恥ずかしかったというと、あれだ。 スクール水着を着せられた時、あの時の屈辱は一生忘れん。
The school swimsuit. What about the swan trunks?
そう、その屈辱を復讐してやるのです。つまりミオンさんに敷く水を。
I don't really... I mean... Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but I fail to see how exactly this is a particularly nasty punishment for Mion, because last I checked, the school swimsuits, which they're likely referring to, are designed for the female sex. No. I mean, how exactly would wearing those be particularly embarrassing for her? You know, tomboy tendencies aside.
おっと、ただ着せるだけじゃつまりませんからね。そのまま一日授業を受けてもらうのはいかがでしょう。
You guys are too vanilla. You should have her dress in an Angel Mort uniform instead.
なんだって？罰ゲームってのは一瞬耐えればいいものだと思ってた。それを一日に引き延ばすことで、なんと苛烈な罰ゲームに。
In Erie's delusions, he made Mion wear a school swimsuit and forced her to spend an entire day walking around in it. Doc, why are you going around picturing students like this in your head? Careful now. You are in the presence of an officer. But then again, given the situation said officer is currently partaking in, I guess this would classify him as a dirty cop, no?
このすく水に靴下、靴というありえない気合わせが素晴らしいじゃないですか。
Okay, that's actually evil. Wearing a school swimsuit with socks and shoes? Okay, you got me there. That would actually be embarrassing.
しかもそんな格好で顔を真っ赤にしながら授業を受けてる。
それはいい。
It would be so embarrassing she'd spurt fire from her face. But the rules of her own club were the one thing she couldn't break, so she'd have to endure the humiliation all through class. Normally, I could always feel her joy at winning everything, her supremely confident expression.
どうですけ？こんな罰ゲームなら勝ちに行きたくなるでしょう。
行きたくなる。リリーすげえよ。
さあさあ、まだまだ序の口だよ、ケイ。ミオンちゃんに数意義を確認できたところで、この調子で他の部活メンバーにも数意義を確認していくのだ。
Tomotaki, shouldn't you be entertaining Takano right now or something?
ミオンの次となればやっぱりレナだな。
皆さん、すく水もいいですが、やはりメイド服は絶対に抑えておきたいですね。
いいねいいね。レナちゃんに似合いそうだな。
皆さん着せるだけじゃ罰ゲームとしては成立しませんね。
Well, it depends on the clothing. Like I said, you really want to make this feel like a punishment. Just get her to wear an Angel Mort uniform.
なんだよクラウド。じゃあメイドレナにも授業を受けてもらうのか？
I thought that's what you guys were just talking about? Wearing it throughout school? That would include class, right? Cloud waggled his finger and tisk-tisked, grinning.
ここはですね、一つ爽やかにヨーグルトを食べる手伝いでもしてもらうんです。
Eat a bowl of yogurt? Why yogurt? I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy me some good yogurt myself from time to time, but why this specifically? You got a yogurt kink or something, old timer?
はい。クラウド、それはどういう罰ゲームなんだい?
Well, I'm not the only one who's confused here. Ah, finally, something that will actually make for a proper looking thumbnail. Don't mind if I do. Now, as usual, unless I find something better as we go along, I'm gonna use this for now. Certainly look better than that temporary thumbnail I had. Here we are. Good enough. Now let's save you. And flatten. And I'll keep this handy just in case I need it for later. Up. Now let's go to manage videos. Here we go. Perfect. In Cloud's fantasy, Kay was made Reina hold a short spoon in her mouth backwards. Oh, I see. I see. It's the manner in which you get her to feed you. And then she awkwardly scooped up some yogurt with it and brought it, trembling, towards the winner's mouth. She wasn't using her hands, so the yogurt dipped down to make the spots around her chest and mouth dirty. And that by itself was an incredible image. I don't think Reina would be messy like that. Turns out she has a surprising level of finesse when handling tools and other implements. Just think of all the times she handled that hatchet like a champ. And as she brought the spoon in her mouth towards his face, close enough for him to feel her very breath. When she put the yogurt in his mouth, their lips would meet over the spoon. How did I know that's where they were gonna go with this? Wait, this is Ushi's imaginings, right? Well, here you have it, everybody. Ushi is indeed a very, very dirty cop. He's a dirty, dirty old boy. Dirty boy! Whoa!
女の子のいるお店なんかにあったりするお遊びなんですがね。前原さんにはちょいと刺激的すぎましたかね。
How many maid cafes actually do this sort of thing? Can't be that many, right?
クラウド、そんなお遊びができる店なんて初めて知りましたよ。
Yeah, it's gotta be a niche thing, because if Irie here is unaware of them, then they have to be niche.
大人のお店のことならこのクラウドにお任せよ。
Apparently being a detective certainly has its perks.
いやー、クラウド最高！よっしゃ、さとこにリカちゃんはどうしてやろうかな。あのペアにも散々やられてきたからな。
Oh boy. Daddy YouTube, whatever they're about to start saying here within the next 5 minutes, their words, not mine. Don't nuke me, please.
今度はエンジェルモードの衣装も使いたいですね。K も着せられてばかりで、たまには着せ返してやりたいでしょう。
Oh, so now you want to use the Angel Mort uniforms.
もちろん着せるだけでは面白くないよね。そこで僕に明暗があるんだ。それはね、ズバリ掃除当番を代わってもらうんだ。例えばガラス拭きとかね。
トミー、思いつきは面白いですが、今一つ燃えるものがあります。しかしなぜにガラス拭きなんです？
Oh, Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's what they're going for. Oh no! Oh god. Now this thumbnail, this would make for a much more catchy thumbnail, but on the other hand, given what it's depicting here, I'd actually be a bit nervous to do so, not gonna lie. I don't know, should I? Should I? Where's a damn coin when you need one? I need to do a coin toss here. I need to make it up my mind. Ah, fuck it. Fuck it. Fine. I will use this one instead. YOLO. Okay. Keep this one over here. And let's put you here. Well, everybody, if the channel ends up vanishing sometime within the next week or something like that here, we can probably blame this. We can probably blame this thumbnail that I'm about to create right here. This is probably the culprit. All right. Here we go. In Tomi's fantasy, Sadako and Rika were forced to change into S-size Angel Mort uniforms. Sadako hadn't thought she'd end up wearing something like that, and she'd glare at Kei with a bright red face, struggling to hide her embarrassment. Then they would carry a desk to the window and climb on top. Like, how big of a desk are we talking about here? Like a student desk or a full-on office desk? Oh dear. Oh god! Bright red mist spurts from the noses of Kei, Cloud, and Eerie. In their fantasy, the two of them had never even considered being made to do this in those uniforms. And even Rika-chan had her gaze downcast in embarrassment. I'm starting to get some hysterical birthday bash flashbacks right now. And then, the both of them would use their butts to wipe in circles. Oh, sweet Jesus. According to Tomi, the windows part was important. In other words, you could see them from everywhere outside the windows. As expected of a photographer. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Of course he would probably try to get photos of this. Of course he would. Now, here's my question. Would Takano be okay with you snapping photos like these, Tomitaki? His obsessions were something else. Well, yeah, I'll admit, as far as punishment games go, that would be something else, I will admit.
Tomi! Tomi! Tomi!
Okay, we're about 38 minutes into this, and I will admit, so far, I guess we're off to a good, or I guess depending on your perspective, a real bad start to this whole thing in regards to the degeneracy at display. So, if nothing else, so far this thing's living up to its promise of what's in store. So, can't really fault it for false advertising, I guess. What'd Shion do to you this time?
園崎姉妹はナイスバディですからね。力が入りますよ。
I heard nice body in English, Mr. Cloud.
この辺で脱衣系を抑えておきたいですね。前に竜宮さんにやってもらった上下1枚ずつ脱衣の路線で1つ。
ひらめいたぜみんな。今度はこの K のアイデアを聞いてくれ。
Oh dear. Can't wait to hear this.
まずだな、シオンにはスクール水着を着てもらう。
ミオンちゃんにも着せたね。そのままじゃひねりがないよ。
トミー、答えを焦っちゃいけないぜ。さらにその上に体操服とブルマも履いてもらうわけだ。この状態で脱いでもらう。ブルマだけを半脱ぎで脱いでもらうわけだ。
I don't know why, but something's not registering. Let me read this again. Okay. Put her swimsuit. Put on a full gym uniform. Okay. Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, your whole idea for a punishment game in the case of Shion is just to get her to strip halfway from a regular gym uniform into a school swimsuit. Again, am I missing something here? Because that seems remarkably tame compared to what Tomataki just suggested just a few minutes ago. Put in her swimsuit. Full gym uniform. Make her strip. And only take the gym shorts off halfway. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm not misreading here, because this seems remarkably anticlimactic compared to what's been previously suggested beforehand. These guys must be a level horny that is just dangerously lethal. I almost feel bad for them. In Kei's fantasy, Shion, decked out in a gym uniform, was on her knees. Face bright red. Oh, wait. Maybe I need to wait to actually hear the description of the fantasy before I understand what's being set up here. Alright, I'll let Kei cook. And, unable to disobey the winner's commands, trembling, she took her gym shorts halfway off. The school swimsuit bottom peeked out from the half-removed shorts. Normally, girls weren't embarrassed about the exposure from a school swimsuit. But by having her take the gym clothes off to reveal it, the swimsuit gains an impossible moe factor.
これは何という組み合わせでしょうけ。ありえない。絶対にありえなかった2つの衣装が互いの長所を生かし合いながら最高の魅力を引き出している。
I don't know. I think as far as embarrassing / degrading goes, having Rika and Sako wearing Angel More uniforms and clean windows with their asses definitely takes the cake for me personally. But that's just my humble onion.
見事だよ。
ああ、皆さん、部活メンバーではないのですが、せっかくなのでうちの高野さんにも罰ゲームを考えてみませんか？
Hey, speaking of the devil nurse herself. But that being said, why are we including her specifically in this?
確かにあの悩ましいボディは罰ゲームものですな。
Ah, yes, the sensual figure that we all got fully exposed to in Higurashi.
しかし高野さんって余裕ありそうっていうか、 並大抵の罰ゲームじゃ答えそうにないよな。
Okinogi and a scuba suit still makes me laugh, though.
ということはだよ、K。これまで以上のすごい罰ゲームを考えないとダメってことさ。
なんだか燃えてくるぜ。あーくそ、高野さんにどんな罰ゲームをお見舞いしてやろうかな。
一つひらめきました。あの豊満なボディにはなんといってもバニースーツが似合うと思うのです。
バニーさんのいるお店だと。そうだ、あれだ。胸の谷間にライター挟んでくれるやつ。あれを抜きには語れませんね。
You know what this is kind of reminding me of right now? This little powwow that these four guys are doing? A bunch of guys getting together and engaging in fantasy football. But replace fantasy football and players with women that they lust after, and there you go.
でもクラウド、部活は K たちがやるんだから、そういう道具はちょっとまずいんじゃないかい？
トミー、それだよ。学校にあるものを挟んでもらえばいいんだ。
I'm sorry, what? You're worried about Takano doing something inappropriate around children involving cigarettes, but wearing a freaking bunny suit and holding stuff in her cleavage isn't crossing that line? Am I missing something here? I feel like something's not computing in somebody's brain.
縦笛のことですか。あれを高野さんの反則級の胸で挟んで。
Okay. Okay. This might actually make for some good competition for the thumbnail with Rika and Sadako, actually. So, I know this is the third time I've done this now, but I'm just going to swap the thumbnails once again. So, hold on. Yeah, this should definitely for sure get some eyeballs on the thumbnail, I'd say. Perfect. Now, if they manage to show me something even worse or better than this, I'll be impressed. Because this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Not gonna lie. Alright, here we go. Hopefully that's the last time I end up doing that this stream. Recorders are long. They're definitely long enough. Oh, yes, they are. So then she holds it in her breasts, then wraps her tongue around it like this. Oh my lord.
実は僕、縦笛を持っていてね。今度こっそり試してもらうよ。
手がけはいけませんよ、トミー。私たちはソウルブラザーじゃありませんか。そういえば、うちのばあさんも尺八持ってたな。今度持ってきます。
Thinking about it now, I think we're starting to get dangerously close to H-game levels at this point, aren't we? Again, hopefully this won't get me in trouble with YouTube at a later date. Especially if they decide to change some of their rules and apply them to me retroactively.
私は横笛なら昔やってたんですが、OK でしょうか。OK！ そうだ、忘れちゃいけない。知恵先生がいました。 規律を教える教育者としてやはり罰ゲームのルールには逆らってはいけないでしょうね。
Okay, I'm not gonna question why we're including chi. Let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it. Alright.
知恵先生先生に罰ゲームか全然考えたことなかったな。
Well, given the subject matter of the punishment games in question here, I mean, I'm not sure what you'd really expect to get out of her, to be fair. I mean, not to be mean, but have you seen her figure? There's not really much there to speak of.
K は千恵先生が担任ということもあって女性というフィルターが外れていたようですね。千恵先生は素晴らしいですよ。金星の取れたボディは隙がなく高野さんが悪魔的魅力だとしたらその魅力は清楚で天使に通じます。
You call her figure, and by extension her, pure and angelic. But all I can think about is a maniac obsessed with curry. And that's anything but pure or angelic.
サマードレスに隠されたボディを想像するのは私たち中年に許された最後の知的創造パラダイスなんですよ。
そういう風に吹き込まれるとなんか明日から恥ずかしくて千恵先生の顔がまともに見られなくなりそうだな。
どうしたよ K。 さっきしおんちゃんに地獄の罰ゲームを与えた君が情けない、担任だから女として見れないなんて君は少し勉強が足りなさすぎるぞ。
Looks like the screen shaking effect here kind of bugged out or something there.
千恵先生ってお尻が魅力的ですよね。
Her butt?
怒り確かにこうキュッとした感じがいいですな。イーリーの観察眼も大したものです。さすが行為。
教師という聖域をまず崩すことが大事みたいだね。
Do that at your own peril, Tomi. By all means, go right ahead, do it. Give me a good show.
それならこういうのはどうだろう。お尻を使った罰ゲームというのは。
なんすかトミーそのシチュエーションは。
What the hell kind of shit is going on in France?
いやごめん、尻ゲーって言いたかったんだ。
Although, thinking about it now, I guess something like this here would actually be pretty tame compared to what I typically hear going on in France these days.
ほら、子供の頃やらなかったかい？お尻でのの字を書くってやつ。
Holy shit. Gee, when did you start packing some serious cake? Remember back when you were a kid drawing letters of your butt? What?
なるほど。
Is that a
それを
thing?
教師の身でありながら全校生徒の前でやらせるわけですね。周知プレイ系とは。トミー、私はあなたとは趣味がますますに合いそうです。
Well, I'll say one thing. Given the cake that's on display right here, she'd probably have a really firm grip on whatever writing implement that she'd want to use, chalk or otherwise.
トミーもイリーもそれで終わりってのはちょいと脳がないんじゃないのかい？
むむでは K、 あなたはまだこれに何かオプションを追加しようというのですか？
Although, thinking about it now, whatever you do, don't make her use brown chalk. That could be bad.
千恵先生にはその恥ずかしいポーズのまま 全校大射精大会のモデルになってもらうのだ。
Oh dear. I hope she'd have the muscle strength to support herself like that.
大射精大会。
それはすごいよ K。カメラはダメだよね。射精じゃないとダメなんだよね。
Yes, unfortunately for you, you won't be able to forever capture Chie's glorious cake in your camera. Not with a photo, anyway.
無性に芸術の秋がしてみたくなりましたよ。
やっぱり千恵先生はお尻ですよね。
見たか諸君、これが罰ゲームだ。ここまでやってこそ罰なのだ。わお！ありがとうみんな。俺ようやく勝ちたくなったよ。勝つってことがどれだけ甘美なことか思い出したよ。
Well, here's the problem. You're not actually in the midst of victory right now, so why don't you save that line for when you actually win, if you can.
私たちに協力できるのはここまでです。
What? Then what the hell do I need you guys for? If all you guys were here to do is just help put some fetish fuel in my head, I didn't need you guys for that. You guys are useless.
あとはあなたが勝利をつかみ取るのです。
そうさ。だが俺一人が掴むわけじゃない。俺たちでだ。俺たちのこの妄想パワーでな。
Last I checked, Kay, you're not a reality warper, so don't let yourself get too carried away here. At that moment, Keiichi felt his power rising high enough to reach the heavens. Is power what he's calling it? Overwhelming power. Enough to walk out in the rain and dodge raindrops. Or walk on the sea and have it part ways for him. Replace power with the other P word and this becomes a lot funnier. Penis, in case any of you are wondering what I meant. Thus, on the next day, K, wielding his powers, fit to give him a nickname, the Dark King, realized one fantasy punishment game after another. I'm very tempted to just replace the word power / powers with penis. And just read it like that, because that could make this so much worse. None of the club members had any way to match his overwhelming strength. Translation, none of the club members had any way to match his overwhelming girth. All of Mion's plans failed. And even Reina's cute mode couldn't come close. Come close. Sadako's traps were no more than sparrow snares set for an elephant. Unfortunate. She needs better traps. Prettier ones. And the only thing Rika could do was pat the heads of their defeated friends. The club members could no longer break out of the situation. Mion, realizing this, asked Chie-sensei for help. But Kei, filled to the brim with his fantasy yeah, fuck. You know what? Fuck it. Filled to the brim with his fancy penis, beat her with no more effort than twisting a baby's hand. Okay, fantasy penis didn't sound quite as funny in this context, but all the other times it would have worked.
そんな。 こんな罰ゲームってあんまりです。前原くん、もう少し他の罰ゲームにはならないんですか？
知恵先生、秘密を教える立場であるあなたがルールを曲げるんですか
Yeah, Chi Sensei. Do you want to bend the rules, or do you simply want to bend over? Which is it?
ただね、ちょっとお尻を向けてもらってのの字を書いてもらうだけでいいんです。明日の図工の時間にね。
Well, this is definitely one that doesn't have the white fog effect around here, so this is a much cleaner image. So if nothing else, I should probably keep this handy just in case I want to use this one instead. So I'll keep this here for now.
こんな恥ずかしいことひどすぎます、前原くん。
Well, look on the plus side, Chi. I remember how in the last arc you were complaining about Reina getting a lead on you when it came to finding love. So if it's a matter of feeling desired, at least this could be a way to probably tickle that part of your ego a little bit, if you know what I mean. Even if in this particular context it would involve a bunch of school children doing it to you. Yeah, whatever you do, don't let someone like that ever reach the local news. That could spell serious disaster for you. Compared to the club members, who were prepared to some extent for the punishment games, Chie-sensei seemed to be quite resistant to them. But even as she stubbornly refused, she couldn't go against the ultimate rule of this club's world, the absolute right of the victor to make any command. And her mind gradually gave in. She's weak. Oh dear. Just then, the principal threw open the classroom door. I'm not gonna expect any help from him. Especially once he's presented with Chie's delicious-looking cake. Everyone believed that the school's most powerful joker had come to the rescue. There's your problem. You shouldn't expect you should never expect a joker to come to your rescue. I speak as one myself. But from his mouth came the most unexpectedly strict words. If both parties are in agreement, then that's that. As a teacher, Chie-sensei, you must obey the rules and play the punishment game. Yes, yes. Come on, man. Admit it. You just want to see some cake.
校長あんたはやっぱり分かってくれると思ったぜ
そんな校長先生ならこの状況を5件一発で吹っ飛ばしてうやむやにしてくれると思ったのに
Even upon seeing this amazing sight of all the club members dressed in their grand punishment game outfits, the principal remained calm and collected. As expected of him. I'll give him credit for one thing. He maintains a good poker face. Now then, Ryugu-kun. What kind of punishment game will this be? For some reason, the screen shake effects seem a bit bugged here in this one. Reina turned to Sadako and Rika, all of them tilting their heads in wonder.
確かそのお尻を向けてなんだっけ違いますわよレナさん確か射精がどうとか言ってましたですわ
Now hold on a minute. I thought that the plan with Sadako was to get her to wear an Angel Mort uniform. Why is she wearing a dog collar?
つまりはケイ 一がチアのお尻を見せ物にしようとしているのです。
And why are you wearing a Maiko outfit, Rika? Is Riku nearby or something? The last sound Keiichi heard was the sound effect of the principal using his level 3 special.
教訓、妄想は一人で楽しみましょう。人に押し付けたらダメです。
Turns out that there is a limit to the power of a horny teenage boy.
すみませんでした、先生。今後気をつけます。
After that, it is said Keiichi upheld that lesson and kept his fantasies to himself to enjoy. Well, at least he's still in a good mood, so I guess that counts for something, am I right?
前原くん、授業中に変な笑いをしないように。お願いだから先生をそういう目で見ないで。
Well, I mean, hey, when somebody presents some good-looking cake, I'm gonna look, okay? Today was another day of pure bliss for Kei. Wait, that's it? We're done already?
なんだかちょっとエッチなシナリオだったね。こんなのでもよかったのかな。
We've only been at this for only a little over than an hour. What the hell?
それにしても今回のシナリオはなんだかケイちゃんばっかり美味しい目を見てたような。
オチはいつものようにひどい目にあったけどさ、俺的には悪くなかったぜ。罰ゲームも最高。
Unless you're counting your third eye and your imagination and using your third eye in your imagination as seeing things, then no. I mean, I don't think fantasies really count as seeing things, Mion.
男の方の不健全な願望に振り回されるこっちの身にもなってほしいものですわ。今回は想像の中ということにはなってても、ちょっとエッチな罰ゲームが多すぎだったかな。
Well, hormones will do that to you. And teenage boys have them in abundance.
多いも何も全部そっち方面だったような気がしますけど。すく水の上に体操着で半脱ぎなんて露骨すぎです。
And having Rika and Sadako washing some windows in Angel Mort uniforms with their asses is perfectly is not crossing the line for you. Or nor having Chie write on chalkboard with her ass. Fascinating.
僕とさとこは二人まとめて慰み者だったのです。みっともないったらありませんわ。私、口でスプーン。
Oh yeah, I almost.
時々。
Yeah, I almost forgot the yogurt, the yogurt feeding thing with the mouth. Almost forgot that one.
チェ、みんなの罰ゲームは割と短めでよかったじゃんよ。私なんかスクール水着で丸一日だよ。明らかに私だけ不当だよ。
Well, considering the nature of the punishment games that everyone else would have to deal with, I'd say you'd actually be getting off quite easy.
なんだよみんな、俺に当たるなよ。俺だって台本に従っただけだぜ。いやしかし本編でもぜひもう一回やりたいシチュエーションだったぜ。
Well, that'd be something.
本編では圭一くんがひどい目に遭うことが多いからね。妄想イベントの中でくらいたまにはいい思いをしてもいいのかな。
Yeah, we've had our emotions toyed with in all kinds of unfun and unpleasant ways, so something like this every once in a while is indeed a nice break.
妄想の中でしかいい思いができないのです。
You always have the best cutting remarks, Rika.
妄想の中でも十分に迷惑でございましたわ。なんか腹が立ちますわね。じゃあこれは妄想の中の恨みは妄想で晴らすしかないってことですね。
Do you have to keep it as strictly a fantasy?
そりゃ通りだな。妄想の中なら一向に構わないぞ。妄想の中の俺になら好きな罰ゲームを与えるがいい。俺は痛くも痒くもないからな。
Should have kept your mouth shut, Keiichi. Because I have a feeling you're gonna regret it in just a minute.
シオンさん、妄想の中だけで仕返ししてもなんだか面白くありませんわよ。
I second that notion.
さとこ、違う。これはね、今度ケイちゃんがボロ負けした時何をさせてやろうかという作戦会議なんだからさ。
Now that's more like it.
なるほどね。今回のシナリオの中でケイチくんたちがやっていたことを私たちもやってみようっていうことだね。そういうことならなんとなく面白そうでございますわね。素敵な罰ゲームが思いつきましたらよりケイチさんを叩きのめす楽しみが増えますものね。そういうことです。妄想こそ我らの明日の糧。ではとりあえずちょっとトライしてみましょうか。ファイトオーです。私がやらされたのはスクール水着で丸一日過ごせってやつだったけど、俺に見合うのは何がいいかな。目には目を、歯には歯をってよく言うしね。ケイチくんにもスクール水着を着せて一日過ごしてもらうのはどうかな。ケイチさんの惨めな様子が目に浮かぶようですわね。
Well, if the goal is to subject him to what he fantasized doing to you, I mean, why don't we have him clean some windows or write on some chalkboards with his ass?
真っ赤になりながら中腰のうつむき加減になって必死に耐えて過ごす一日。まずまずの線です。
That's actually a fair point. I forgot to take into account he would be trying to hide his South Pole from everybody.
ケイチくんが真っ赤でフラフラ、スクール水着でずっと一緒。かい。はお、お持ち帰り。
I keep forgetting how much of a horn dog Reina is portrayed in these side arcs. No, although then again, now that I think about it, where is Hanyu, our actual literal horn dog?
ややありがちゃん、体のラインが隠せないすく水の方が残酷だって。男の子のやんごとなき事情も外部に丸分かりだからね。やんごとなき事情がふるふるゆらゆら。私もミオさんに同じ意見ですわね。メイド服ではちょっとメイド服を着て監督の試合に出てもらうのですよ。
Now, here's a good question. As long as the boy or man in question is wearing a maid outfit, will the doctor swing that way? Or will he only go for the girls?
これはまたさすがリカちゃま、えぐいというか残酷というか。
It can be both.
監督の試合にメイド姿で参加させるなんて、サメのイケスに足を縛った羊を投げ込むようなものですわよ。
監督がどういう反応を示すかちょっと興味はあるね。よし、シミュレートしてみようかね。妄想モードスイッチオン。
Wait a minute, I just realized we never actually got to see Takano actually partake in the later half of this thing. My suit of armor, my king. Oh my god! He's beautiful! Serves you right.
いや、これはですね、部活の罰ゲームでして、すみません。決して野球の試合をバカにして来てきたわけじゃないんです。
そんな格好で不真面目な野球をバカにしてる。
いや、決してそんなつもりは。
今日は不愉快ですよ、ひらみ沢ファイターズさん。今日の試合をお流れにしてもらいましょう。
As Keiichi cowered, Coach, with a resolute expression, cut between him and the others.
皆さん、お静かに。
Moment of truth, everybody. Let's find out just how much Irei loves maids.
野球のスポーツマン精神の中には、ユニフォームを着なければ野球をする資格はないとは一言も書かれていません。かつて日本野球が戦乱をくぐり抜けた時、ユニフォームが揃えられず軍服のまま参加した選手もいたと伝え聞きます。
I don't think
なのは精神です。
I don't think a military uniform and a maid outfit is even remotely comparable. What matters is your mentality. Besides, they say that you can trace baseball's roots back to the 18th century England. And when you think England, you have to think of...
メイドです。メイド文化はナイル、インダス、ユーフラテスに連なる四大文明であることは今や小学生でも知っている常識です。
I thought it was France that was known for the maid culture and things like that.
まさに野球文化の発祥国で生まれたこのメイド文化のメイド服はある意味私たちが着ているこのユニフォームよりもずっと古式にのっとった野球の清掃と言えるのです。
Well, I think we've got our answer, chat. He really loves maids. Keiichi included.
そうなんてどうでもいいじゃねえか。試合を開始しろ。
Smash, roar. Swoosh, roar, roar.
この鉄火で前原さんの出番ですね。ご存知の通り、我がひなみ沢ファイターズと沖宮タイタンズの因縁は並々ならぬものがあります。
Is it as long as Keiichi's South Pole?
この打席をしくじるようなことがあれば、ただでは済まされませんよ。
Oh yeah, I believe you that I won't be getting off lightly. Pun intended. Whoops, didn't mean to skip that.
主人の命令には絶対服従のメイドが絶対に口にしてはならない言葉ですよ。もしこの打席を
あれば
あなたに罰を与えなければなりません。清掃のメイド姿で望み破れることはすなわち野球とメイドの両文化に対し侮辱したも同然です。
Double punished, huh? My mind is racing with possibilities.
その場合はもちろん英国式であなたを罰することになります。
Again, I thought it was France that is known for the maid culture thing. Why not the French way? If you really want to give me a bad time, just punish me the French way.
英国式の罰って何ですか？ビクビクしながら尋ねるケイちゃんに監督は冷えた爬虫類のような目でにやりと笑うと、ケイちゃんの腰を撫でながら耳元でささやきかけます。
Okay, so that was all just a fantasy. I thought it was an actual real thing for a second here because we didn't have any weird fog effect around the corners, around the edges of the screen or anything like that, like we did with the earlier imaginings. I thought that was actually happening for a minute. Unfortunate. Or maybe fortunate for me. I don't know.
バッターボックスに立ったケイちゃんはバットを握ってハッとします。しまった、このバットには細工がされている。打てるわけがない。
Replace the word bat with penis.
そう、監督にはめられたのです。このままではケイちゃんの純潔は監督に散らされてしまうことに。
ちょっと待てやしよ。黙って聞いてりゃとんでもない話ばかりしやがって。
I agree. Your bat is getting out of your hand.
ああ、ほらほら、ケイちゃん邪魔をしない。これは妄想の中の話だからね。現実のケイちゃんには何の関係もないんだからさ。
そうですわ。女性同士が集まって妄想話をしてるだけですもの。ケイイチさんたち男性が集まってしてたのと全く同じではありませんですの。
And people claim that girls don't get horny, or have dirty talks with each other like this.
そりゃそうだけど、たとえ妄想話でもやっぱり聞き捨てならんぞ。
ケイイチも聞きたいのならお椅子に座ってじっくり聞くといいですよ。ミパーン。他の罰ゲームの話もしたいですわね。そうそう、ケイイチさんたらバニーガールさんの制服がいいなんて話もしてましたっけ。
あと水着で窓拭きなんて話もしてたっけ。ケイちゃんもなかなかすごいこと考えるじゃん。
I didn't come up with those things alone. Just so you know.
俺じゃない。しかも微妙に罰ゲームが混じってるよそれ。しかもそれ富武さんとか大石さんのアイデアだよ。まあその悪乗りしたのは認めるが。
はおー、考えたのなんか別に誰でもいいよ。ケイイチくんのバニーさん姿もかわいいね。
ではではこっちも行ってみましょう。妄想モードスイッチオン。
ただでさえ恥ずかしい格好だってのによ。しかも尻で窓拭きかよ。あーくそ、胸を押さえてないとペロンとめくれて恥ずかしいったりゃないぜ。くそ、情けなくて涙が出るぜ。よいしょよいしょ、キュッキュッ。
Well, I can finally feel the tea doing its thing here, so I will be back in just a minute or two. And I'm back. Of course I'm getting snapped.
うわあ、このフラッシュは秒間数百枚の超連写撮影。
No, that's some real flash photography.
富武さん、大体あんた野鳥専門のカメラマンじゃなかったんですか？いつからバニー撮影家に？
I hope you guys watching don't have any issues with flashing lights here, because you might want to look away for a minute or two.
ケイチ君、誤解してもらっちゃ困るな。僕は野鳥専門のつもりだよ。もちろん今この瞬間もね。
At this very moment too, of course.
一体何の鳥を撮影してるのか説明してください。その望遠レンズは一体何を拡大して撮影してるんすか？
Your bunny glutes, of course.
ケイチ君は山クジラというのを知っているかい？もちろん山にクジラなどいるわけがない。でも江戸時代の人たちはね、山に泳ぐクジラがいると言ってその魚肉を珍重したんだ。
You saying my meat is highly prized, Tomitaki?
これは実はね、イノシシの肉のことだと言われてる。当時はとある理由で獣肉を食べることが禁じられていたからね。クジラだから魚肉、すなわち食べても問題はないっていうヘリクスだったわけさ。
So whales, for some reason, didn't count as animals to the people in the Edo period? Okay, that's weird. But sure, I'll roll with it.
ほら、手で隠さないで、お尻で窓を拭く拭く。
なんだかオチが読めてきましたけど、とりあえずそのパシャパシャをやめてくれませんか？
そうさ、バニーはウサギ。ウサギもまた江戸時代には鳥の仲間だと言われていたんだ。これも山クジラと同じ。ウサギ肉を食べるためにこれを鶏肉だとヘリクスを言ったわけだね。
What in God's name were the Edo period people smoking back then? How the hell could anybody look at a rabbit and a bird and think that they're even tangentially related to each other?
そう、つまりバニーさんは鳥の仲間なわけなんだ。だから僕が君をファインダー越しに捉えたとしても、それは全くの猛満体というわけさ。ほら、まだ吹き残しがあるよ。
Seriously, what idiocy is he subjecting me to right now? This is like saying that giraffes are related to cheetahs because they have spots.
うさぎ鍋は江戸庶民の間で大流行したってのは俺だって知ってますけど、でもそんな文化と俺の恥ずかしい姿の撮影には何の関係もない。それにうさぎ鍋は料理人の領分じゃないんすか？富武さんはカメラマンでしょ？詭弁ですよ。
分かってないな、ケイチ君。僕はカメラマンだが、同時にファインダー越しの料理人だと思うこともある。熟れたウサギたちの魅惑的な肉を前に腕をまくらずしては料理人の名折れ。僕は今君という最高の食材を得て最高の料理に腕を振るっているんだよ。
Now careful. If you're gonna call Keiichi the greatest ingredient, Takano might get jealous.
いやー、変態カメラマンやめてー。盗撮かっこ悪い。ローアングル撮影絶対反対。お前らいくらなんでもひどすぎる。こりゃもう罰ゲームの領域を超えてるぞ。
So it's perfectly okay when you're doing it to everybody else, huh? Got it. Understood.
先ほどから私たちの妄想だと申し上げて てましたよ。現実の圭一さんには何の実害もございませんわ。
It's hurting his ego.
実害はある。お前らがニヤニヤ話しながら時折流してくる怪しげな目線が舐めるようでくすぐったい。
Oh, I bet you would really like it if they licked you, huh?
目線がなめるわけないでしょ。妄想とはすなわち考えること。思想言論の自由は戦後日本で最も保障された権利だからね。
At least until they develop technology to help read people's minds, in which case, well, kiss all the rest of your freedoms goodbye in that case.
でも妄想だけで済むかどうかはわかんないね。次の部活が楽しみ。はう、圭一くんがお尻でキュッキュッ。はう、お持ち帰り。
You heard it, chat! She's after my
今
ass!
から壮絶なトラップワークが頭に浮かんでまいりますわね。絶対これら罰ゲームを圭一さんにやらせてみせましてよ。
おねえ、次の部活には絶対私も呼んでくださいね。園崎家の総力を挙げて完全勝利を勝ち取りましょう。
園崎姉妹が手を組んだ日にはこれほど旗迷惑なこともないのです。
あと多い人も絡ませないとね。レナはヨーグルトを食べさせるって罰ゲームだったっけ？あとさっきからサトシくんの出番がないのがつまんないです。せっかくですからサトシくんとケイちゃんで交代交代で口にくわえたスプーンでヨーグルトの食べさせっことかしてくれると鼻血です。
Number one, what the hell did Satoshi do to earn this? And number one, yeah, I said number one. And number two, what did I just say earlier? And people say that women don't get horny or have dirty talk with each other about stuff like this. There are people I've spoken to that unironically have told me this shit in real life.
くそー、お前ら覚えてやがれ。
仕方ないよケイジ、負けちゃったし。
くそくそー、負ける勝負じゃなかったのに。中盤のあのボンミスが痛かった。あれさえなければ挽回はできたのに。
Now, Fantasy Keiichi, technically Satoshi was here and part of this club well before you entered the picture, so you're the actual rookie here, last I checked.
ごめん。
いや、サトシだけが悪いわけじゃないよな。あの時その場でミスに気づかなかった俺にも責任はある。言い過ぎたよ、謝る。
Now kiss and make up.
今日は僕たち負けちゃったけどきっと勝てるよ、僕たちなら。
そうだな。今日は潔く負けを認めて次回を頑張るしかないもんな。
じゃあ罰ゲームとっとと済ましちゃおう。僕から行くね。スプーンを口でくわえてヨーグルトをすくってケイイチに食べさせればいいんだよね。
Yep. Definitely sounds like kissing and making up to me. Oh my lord. And they're using this music too! Oh my god. Of all the BGMs. Holy shit.
べてくれなくちゃ顎がくたびれるよ。
いやその男同士でこんなことしなくちゃならないなんてその恥ずかしくて。
圭一、罰ゲームの罰というのは恥ずかしがらせるところにあるんだと思うんだ。だったらさ、恥ずかしがらずにやってしまえばすっと終わらせられるよ。
Yeah, Keiichi, just turn off your emotions for a minute. Easy.
まあそりゃ下手に恥ずかしがる方が連中を面白がらせるだけだしなあ。でもいくらなんでも
お互いに食べさせっこすれば終わりだよ。ちゃっちゃと片付けておしまいにしちゃおうよ。
理屈じゃ分かってるんだけどなあ。思い切りってやつがその恥ずかしくて。
僕だって本当は圭一とこんなことするの恥ずかしいよ。
Now, gentlemen, what happened to doing this without embarrassment? You're failing miserably.
お前のって。
Now, Satoshi, what are you doing with your hand?
ね。さっきからドキドキが止まらないんだ。だからさ、ちゃっちゃと片付けちゃいたいんだよ。じゃないと僕。
I am so tempted to use this as the thumbnail, but I think I've already done enough, and this could probably count as a spoiler. A big spoiler. So maybe I shouldn't.
サトシ、俺
僕のヨーグルトじゃ。
Oh my god. Yeah, Keiichi. Do you not want to eat Satoshi's yogurt?
そして二人は禁じられた愛への第一歩を踏み出すんです。
And then they went and yogurted all over the place.
ムガー、ニーニーを変な罰ゲームに巻き込まないでくださいでございますわ。ムガー、
Oh god! Is the mental image scarring her? Oh man. Oh, poor Sadako.
あー、リカちゃん何それ、飛躍？
Wait, what?
いいところなのに、サトコはちょっとおうるさいのです。
That's a bit much, don't you think?
リカちゃんの容赦なさってたまに怖いね。
いつの間にかケイチくんがいないよ。レナじゃない誰かがお持ち帰った。ずるい。
You should have been quicker on the uptake, Reina. Or rather, the adoption process.
Oi さんいますか？一般の方から凱旋です。
どうしてロンしちゃダメなんすか？あ、待ってくださいよ、大石さん。
Playing shogi again.
ありゃ、これはどうも。それじゃあちょいと失礼。
The man sitting across from Ushi was waggling a receiver at him.
凱旋です。講習から。
ああ、どうもすみません。お待たせしました。大石です。
大石さんですか？もしもし。
前原さんじゃありませんか。どうもどうもこんにちは。
俺最初は普通のおまけシナリオだと思ってたんです。でも なんか最初からずーっとおかしいんですよ。
落ち着いてください、前原さん。今警ら車を向かわせます。3分でいいからなんとかその場を持ちこたえてください。
3分どころかもう俺囲まれて。やめて、せめて優しくして。
You should have ran farther.
おとなしくしなって。男のくせに往生際が悪い。
助けて、お母さん。
Now, Keiichi, do you want to actually go to the trouble of explaining to your dear old mama why you're in the current predicament that you're in? And give her all the details? Every juicy bit of them? Your poor old mommy might not look at you the same way ever again. I raised no filthy degenerate!
逃げ込んだ時点で私のトラップに引っかかっていたわけですわね。
もしもし、もしもし、聞こえてますか、前原さん。
I knew all too well how distant the voice beyond the receiver was. Yet, I couldn't help but shout anyway. And then, from the other end of the phone, I could hear a faint murmur. Oh God, he's been possessed! I don't know what he's talking about. Based on his tone of voice, was he talking to himself? Or was he speaking to somebody there? Yes. I sharpened my senses, hoping to hear something more. What was he trying to convey? What on earth could it be? Click. Click, beep, 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 beep. The line abruptly cut off. Did the 10-yen coin run out? It was a payphone after all.
Oh.
And because it cut off so suddenly, his last words vividly lingered inside my head. Don't you mean last word?
2%だ。
Somebody should write that on his tombstone. Just then, I had a feeling that there was no longer any need to be in a hurry. That was how one unlucky boy found himself swallowed in Hinamizawa's darkness once more. In a sea of darkness, in a sea of yogurt. But seriously, less than 2 hours? That's it? I didn't think it'd be that short. What the hell? Okay, since I guess we're already done with this, I guess I might as well give my first impressions. Well, if I had to compare this arc to anything, I think it would be best for me to compare it to Higurashi, or Part 78 in my Higurashi When They Cry console arc series. Because both this arc and that arc aim to be a fan service heavy episode featuring several of the main cast. But unlike Higurashi, which had a much more slower build up and had much more substance to it in regards to its plot, its characters, much more depth. This one was just basically like a quick pump and dump in comparison. It just was done and over with real quick. Yeah, now that I think about it, that's what she said. All joking and innuendos aside, I can't help but feel disappointed because I think at the very least, I was expecting like something that was comparable in length to the last couple arcs I just did, like a 5-hour thing at the most. So, kind of disappointed it ended up being half that length, if that. Especially given what it promised, because, I mean, again, it was just a quick and pump and dump compared to something like Higurashi. And, you know, simple premise, it's just literally fat material for a couple hours worth of reading. So, I mean, I don't really feel like there's anything meaningful I can really say about it from a story analysis perspective. Other than just, I guess, being amazed and maybe even a bit appreciative how horny the characters / the writers of these things can be sometimes. They must be, the writers in particular, I do hope they're not lonely individuals, whoever they are. Because I'd probably feel bad for them if they were. Poor bastards. Well, that being said, though, what else can I do now? Since I guess we're basically done. Well, I guess. Well, I will say it was funny as hell. I was definitely chuckling and laughing throughout here. So, if nothing else, it was a very, even though I'm disappointed at it only being less than a couple hours, it was still an entertaining time all the same. So, can't be too disappointed, I suppose, but I am disappointed all the same. Now, wasn't there an old cast interview? Yes, there was. So, I guess we will go ahead and just finish this whole thing off with doing the cast review. Excellent work on Higurashi When They Cry, Ray. Ba-bum-pum. Ever since Kai started, we've had this series of massive stories. The only one that was even remotely massive, I guess if you could even really call it that, was the very first one in this whole collection. All the rest were just 5-hour affairs or less. Little scenarios like this one are fine once in a while too, unless they're counting the whatever ones are included in Hope Plus, in which case, yeah, there's those we still have yet to go through. But wait, even a little knowledge can be dangerous, right? Wasn't the first chapter, Higurashi, pretty heavy on the thematic side? Yeah, it was. It was. Haven't we given up? Haven't we often given up on certain sacrifices and blamed it all on the dice of fate? Not being able to blame it on anyone seems a very painful choice. I didn't really understand it, but I had no idea such a mean story would follow right after the grand finale at Matsukoishi. I went through a lot of bad things in that story. Meep. Well, there's the horn dog. I was happy I got to make so many appearances. Ow, wow. Really? But if I put myself in the main character's shoes, it would really stink. If it were me, I think I'd have been worrying so much the time to go back. I think I'd have been worrying so much the time limit to go back to our original world would have run out. Huh? Why worry? That world wasn't a nightmare, right? Allegedly. Didn't Hanyu say the world was a dream at the end? You just have to do your best to wake up from it. No, sis. I thought that after she chose her original world, it would have been too much for her to think about the world she didn't choose. Which is why Hanyu told her it was a dream. That seems like a pretty valid interpretation. I think it was so she could sever any lingering attachments to it. In the story, I said a few things about having regrets for the choices you don't pick. I think that either world would have been the real one, depending on what Rika chose. If she'd chosen the other one, maybe her original world would have been the dream. And if they had done something like that and thus basically rendered the entire rest of Higurashi up to this point essentially a dream, I would have been so fucking pissed. It might have all been a hallucination I saw when Sadako hit me with the ball and knocked me out. The scenario wanted Rika-chan to make a choice, so it made things tough for her. But after that, maybe a coin flip would have been easier for her to handle. Like I said during the story, I think that would have meant running away from the choice. Whatever choice you make, if you made it yourself, you can be okay with it. But if you didn't make it the choice yourself, you'd have a reason to keep complaining forever. Yeah, you'd have a choice to make before you even make the choice. Whether to choose or not. With some choices, there's just no way to pick one option. That was probably the theme of Saikuroshi, the distress that can cause. Yeah, I'd say you're right on the money on that one. That was a really cruel tale. It made me out to be a cold person, and Rika hit me with a chair. It added insult to injury. Don't you mean injury to insult? but seriously, that was both shocking and then gut-bustingly hilarious to me. That doesn't matter. This old man barely had any scenes. But I guess it's okay. I had a huge role during Matsuri Bayashi to make up for it. I showed up a lot in both of them, so I'm nice and full. Wow, wow, wow. You appeared pretty often in Rei. You didn't first show up until later, though, so perhaps it was alright. Come to think of it, Hirokawashi was all about me. And the story was a tiny bit lovey-dovey. A tiny bit? How? Why didn't I think to compare this the arc I just completed to literally that one? That one was a bit on the had some fan service elements to it too. And I would say even that arc actually did things better in the end than the what's this thing called again? Batsukoishi. Batsukoishi did, because at least it had a more compelling story arc to follow, even if it's one that was ultimately played for laughs too. So yeah, comparing this to Hirokawashi and Hajisarashi, Batsukoishi was just disappointing. Yeah. Actually, the way your cute mode sends you on a rampage reminded me of how I saw you back at the beginning of Higurashi. That makes me nostalgic, thinking about how the story progressed, how it was formally introduced to me back when I first started this whole thing out. I remember thinking I was just going to be in for a mostly thriller/horror suspense story the whole way through, but well, there were still some elements of that sprinkled here and there, but no. Turns out that was just simply the first impression that Chapter 1 wanted me to have for what I'd be in for going forward. This is just my impression after reading the story, but sis, You have to start pulling together a little more, or she'll outdo you. Reina-san is way more aggressive than we thought. Meep. Wait, why is everyone taking pity on me? Huh? Why? Why? Well, you gotta seize your boy toy before someone else comes and seizes him for themselves. Not telling. Anyway, Higurashi was a story based on motifs from Higurashi Daybreak World, the fighting action game released by Twilight Frontier. Wait, Higurashi Daybreak fighting game? What the hell is this? Higurashi Daybreak. Let's do it. Okay, yeah, that's right. That won't work. Gotta do it this way. Higurashi Daybreak. What on earth is this? Are you telling me there's a game in which I can smack everybody in the club around? All right, let's see what this is. Okay, it's a Japanese doujin third-person shooter. Wait, what? Third-person shooter, but this one. But you call it a fighting action game. So, unless fighting action games are called first-person unless third-person shooters are called fighting action games in this part of the world, then which is it? Is it a shooter? Is it a shooter kind of game, or is it an action game, or rather, fighting game rather? If you're interested after having read Higurashi, please go give that game a try. Well, going by what I'm seeing here. Is there any information on... Okay, so it's available in the PlayStation Portable. And we got an Enhanced Edition, which was released in 2009. Yeah, this looks to me like something that I don't think has probably been given an official localization, so unless a fan translation of this thing exists somewhere, then I'm probably going to be shit out of luck with this one. Oh well. Someone I'll have to look into after the fact, I guess. Which tag team will get their hands on the love-creating Magatama of Furuwazu? Aside from me and Reina being on one team, there are plenty of storylines to experience, so give it a look. Shameless plug. Hey, Shion-san. Come to think of it, Higurashi had different BGM than usual, didn't it? Good on you for keeping an ear out, Sadako. You're right. In Higurashi, in order to give it more of a Daybreak feel, we borrowed several pieces usually used in Daybreak, composed by Twilight Frontier's composer, U2-san. Oh, that's interesting. So I already heard some music from this game. With different music than usual, our normal escapades felt very different too. Of course, this is a sound novel, so the sound is important. The word sound takes up an entire half of the term sound novel, after all. I feel like you're being redundant, Hanyu. Yeah, music has immeasurable effects. It can make scenes much more exciting. Thank you so much to all the composers who contributed to Higurashi. If you can, we would very much like your help again on Yumeneko. Well, I wonder if the same composers who worked on Higurashi do work on Yumeneko. Something I'm sure I'll find out later. Oh! I've seen that name crop up on the blog and on the Circle's homepage. Yumeneko When They Cry, right? Naming feels like a meme now, but that's really the new game coming out, isn't it? Ray, yeah, I think Ray must have come out right before Yumineko did, I assume. Which is why they're talking about like it's an upcoming game. Well, the name is still provisional, but in Ryushiki 07-san's words, it's set in stone, tentatively. A lot of Higurashi's sounds were used all through Higurashi, so if Yumineko, does that mean a lot of seagulls will be crying? Seagulls? What sound did seagulls make again? Listen to anytime Mion laughs, and there you go. Squawk, squawk. It'll apparently take place on an island. And with the words island and ocean in mind, seagulls come up as the natural animal you'd hear making noise in the background. What? They decided the title based on something so minor? Anyway, wouldn't it be more difficult if you didn't even have a temporary title? You have to put together stuff like this beforehand, or you'll be in trouble later. He says it's only a tentative title, and if he comes up with something way cooler, he'll change it. Well, clearly he never came up with something cooler. Though I think it's probably already settled. I wonder what that story will be about. Well, if Yumineko doesn't need to take place within the same general universe as Higurashi, I wouldn't be surprised if at least some of it is more of the same of what I've already experienced in Higurashi. But again, I suppose I'll find out what its deal is the hard way soon enough. It has the same When They Cry in the title, after all. Well, maybe it'll make me cry too, just like Higurashi did at times. I wonder if there'll be more strange crimes of people dying. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I don't know who's going to be the main character, but they'll have it rough. You're probably right about that. In any case, if you had to choose a main character from this circle, you might want to give it some serious thought first. He said something about it inheriting the blood of Higurashi when they cry, but still wanting to aim for a different kind of world. So, a spiritual successor, essentially, is what you're saying, right? I don't really understand what he's talking about. Well, again, assuming I'm understanding it right, I think in Yumineko, he wanted to carry a similar tone / spirit to Higurashi, but in a different setting. With different stakes involved, I'm sure. Ryushiki 07-san said he'd start working on the plot for real after making the master copy of Ray. I bet he's gotten all sorts of unpublished writings together already. Look forward to Summer Comiket 2007, Nipa. Yeah, okay, so this was... Yeah, I'm basically reading essentially a time capsule of sorts. An old 2007 plugin for Yumineko. Well, this was certainly one high and mighty next episode preview. Judging by how there aren't any screenshots of it yet, he must have meant it when he said he'd start working on it for real after finishing Ray. Now. Next year's Summer Comiket is still 8 months away. We'll just have to relax and wait. Please keep checking the Circle's development blog for progress. That does it for our PR announcements. How did you like Higurashi When They Cry, Ray? Well, I definitely enjoyed Saikuroshi Hen for sure. The other arcs, They were enjoyable, fun little side stories, but I will admit I kind of expected a little bit more out of them in regards to what we actually got, especially with the one I just finished, Batsukoishi. So yeah, I mean, I would say that raid was certainly worth it for Higurashi Hen, but the other ones, yeah, maybe not so much. By themselves, anyway. We hope you enjoyed it. This volume was called Rei, meaning gratitude, because we wanted to thank all those who enjoyed Higurashi and supported us. If you've enjoyed it, then we couldn't possibly be happier. Right when we thought we couldn't be showing up anymore after Matsurubayashi 2, we had a ton of fun appearing again like this. Our Higurashi world antics are still a blast. Yeah, maybe Higurashi's most interesting facet was having all kinds of stories. Happy ones, angry ones, sad ones, and fun ones. And Higurashi and Hirokawashi both fit right in. I had a lot of fun appearing all sorts of different ways. I still haven't shown up enough. Is this the last time we'll be appearing? Not by a long shot. We still got all of Ho Plus to go through. Oh. Ryushiki 07 was thinking he wouldn't write any more Higurashi from now on, but he had a lot of fun writing these stories, so he might have changed his mind a little. He said he'd still like to write a few more things if he has time. Well, as history ended up proving, it ended up being more than just a few things. And that is how it should be. I want him to write a lot more about how amazing I am. Our appearances, or rather, Higurashi When They Cry, isn't over yet. Yep, there's no such thing as an ending. If you mean that in the literal sense, in regards to writing a story, that's not a good mindset to have, I would argue. We're still living, and we have all kinds of experiences after this, and have many more chapters. Yeah, as long as we're in Hinamizawa, there's no way weird stuff won't happen. Well, I definitely think you're right about that, if nothing else. Coo. That goes for more than just our club activities. There might be more horrific tragedies, too. I'd very much like you to be in those tragedies, sis. What a horrible thing to wish on your sister. But I want to be in a romance with Satoshi-kun. That's right. We still haven't had a story where Nini comes back. Did Higurashi Hen not count? You're right. I'd like it if there was a story where I had something real to do. That's right. I want to show up doing a lot more cool things too. What about Jiro Tomotaki's Stormcloud chapter? Hehe. Wouldn't a story depicting our adult relationship be a little too stimulating for all the good boys and girls? Well, it would certainly be stimulating, alright, I'm sure. How about we bring them a story about my splendid younger years to set an example for the youngsters? I'd be interested in your days as a kid, Ushi-san. And I'd like to see a story about my own mahjong days. Sheesh. It's all over the moment you start rambling on about your younger days. When did you show up? I don't care about my days as a greenhorn. I want to be the main character and have a major role. Don't you? You jest. Flashy roles. No thank you. What about you, Chi-sensei? You're young, so I'm sure you want a more important role. If someone gave me the chance, maybe I would, but if I was the protagonist, well, I think they'd have to change the title. What about you, Irie-sensei? Higurashi When They Curry? Or Curry When They Cry? What about you, Irie-sensei? Would you like to be one? Who, me? Well, of course. If someone called on me to do it, I'd take on the role. Everyone born into this world wants to be a main character at least once. What about you, Okunogi-san? You were very powerful, so I'm sure you want to be in the spotlight. I'm fine with my role as villain. Yeah, I know you certainly seem to enjoy your role quite a lot. Bastard. I'd like to make even more of a mess of things. I'm sure you would. Bastard. Ah! You! Me too! I'm fine being a villain, but I just want to show up again. It's only because we're such great villains that the main characters look so good. I've had enough of being the villain. A good guy role would be nice for next time. Oh, that would be the day. That would be the day. You being the good guy. I think hell would freeze over sooner than that. I know it's just an act, but bullying little girls doesn't suit me. Right, Sadako? I hope we're good pals in the next story. Oh, being on good terms with you, Tepe-san, would make the story a bit embarrassing for me. Try awkward. Even them getting along in just the after party feels very, very odd. Ow. But everyone here got to put on a performance together, so it was really fun. I hope we all have the chance to perform again together. To perform again. Of course we will. If we all wish for it, we're sure to meet again. After all, the main story is already over. And in extra stories, anything goes. I can't wait to see what kind of nonsensical stories we'll be called in for next time. Coo. Maybe 07th expansion will finally break into adult stories. Oh, that'd be something. Ah, well, if Satoshi-kun really insisted, I might not be able to refuse. Satoshi-kun! I'd like a story that both adults and children can enjoy. Suit yourself, princess. That's right. Shion-san should keep her unclean stories of Nini inside her head. Meep. If it's okay to dream, then I would like a very charming little story where I've grown up and have a nice body. Does your ancestor in Kotobushi count? Because she looks an awful lot like you do. Ow. I want a story where everyone respects me more. Refer to what I just said about Kotobushi. I'm a god. You should all be worshipping me. Wait a minute. Did I even say the name right? Give me a second. Kotobushi. Okay, yeah, I did say it right. Nobody's had enough yet. I feel like we'll all have to meet again together in a new story. We're really grateful to everyone for continuing to follow Higurashi When They Cry up until today. On behalf of all the characters appearing in Higurashi, we'd like to extend our thanks. The only reason we made it to this point was because of how much you all supported us. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to meeting again in some odd and special stories. Are you ready, everyone? 1, 2... Maybe I should actually use this as the thumbnail. Alright. I'll make this the absolute last time I do this for this stream, since... And I think it's fitting, since we're in the actual proper finale for this. Let me get away from this for a second. There we go. Yes, no, I want to keep it perfectly cropped. There we are. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely need to update. I'll definitely need to update the thumbnail for this in a more thorough way when I get some time. Ah, fuck it. I'll just... Yeah, you know what? No. I'll make up my mind on what exactly I want to do with the final thumbnail after the stream's over. Holy shit. We got 2 Takenos on screen! Now, if memory serves, you should never touch your past or future self, because quantum physics and all that would dictate that something would end up exploding. So, Takeno, whatever you do, do not touch yourself. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Let's meet again. The staff room has been unlocked. This is a thank you message for purchasing the game. To go there, select extra and then select pick option staff room. Oh, so there's more. Okay, I guess we're not quite done yet. Holy shit. It turns out that Okinoki was Ryushiki-07 the entire time! Now there's a plot twist. Ryushiki, my man, did anybody ever tell you that you look absolutely goofy in a scuba suit? Good work, everyone. I'm Ryukishi-07. Well, we've had nothing but long chapters thus far, so it's nice to have short ones once in a while. Yatazakura, who are you? Just confess that it was easier to do the work, Nyari. Hello, I'm Yatazakura, and it looks like I won't be getting a paycheck this time. Ryushiki, you shortchanging your staff? Well, leaving that aside, with Higurashi having come to a close for now, 07's expansion is finally speeding headlong towards its next work. I wonder what we should make next. That said, time for an emergency conference on what our next work should be like. Meep. Didn't we decide on Yumineko When They Cry? Hello, I am BT. Nipa, you have any relation to E.T. by any chance? Indeed. I've given it the temporary title of Yumineko and come up with a direction for the story. But is that really what we need? I would think that'd be important for storytelling purposes, yes. Ryushiki-07 will throw all kinds of ideas, one after another, into a pot in order to make an even more enjoyable work. He'll boil them and stew them together. Then leave them overnight, and curry the next day will have to be delicious. Wait a minute. Is Chie another avatar of his in regards to him liking curry? He must be one of those authors that likes to make author avatars of himself, but split them into multiple characters in order to represent different aspects of themselves. Chie and Chi Sensei must be the part of him that likes curry. That's more like Yami Nabi than curry, Nyari. And sometimes it tastes better when you don't mix anything weird into it, Nyari. Come on, staying on the defensive will get us nowhere. All interesting stories lead to cooking. Exquisite preparation, a harmony of spices, a secret ingredient beyond imaginings. Elevated to the highest heights, they become a wonderful flavor to meet the hearts of men. To do that, we'll research interesting stories from past and present, from east and west, and extract their essences. By bringing them all in, we'll write a spectacular story nobody would have imagined. Meep. I feel like this will lead us astray, but I think it's an interesting direction. How naive, Nyari. I know how this will end, Nyari. We'll think of all kinds of ideas, and then the other famous tiles will fly out of us, like, this is just blank Kihime, or that's fate, Nyarin. Wait. Oh, is that Tsukihime and fate? Guess Ryushiki must be a fan of those works. Then what about this? If we keep mixing interesting essences, we'll arrive at a famous title in the end. So instead, we'll do the opposite. Throw those famous titles in themselves and mix them all alchemy-like. Alchemy? Like Full Metal Alchemist? I have no idea what you're talking about, Nyarin. But in short, you want to rip off a bunch of popular works, mix them up, and maybe come out with something new, Nyarin. How's the saying go? Small artists create while big artists steal. I think it goes something along those lines. No, yes, small artists create while great artists steal. I think it goes something along those lines. The quote goes something along those lines. Curry rice, fruit punch, and strawberry shortcake. Children love each of them on their own, but if you mix them all up, nobody would eat it. Are you sure? Are you perfectly certain of that? Why don't we try? Curry with fruit punch is totally fine with me. Wild alchemy results in numerous chemical discoveries. Even if we got nothing out of it, we might learn something from the process. It is our mission as 07th to shamelessly test it all. Shamelessly, eh? It's exciting. It's what we were meant for. There's a water fountain next to you, so I'll wash it out your mouth with mud. If I ate curry mixed with shortcake, I'd want to wash my mouth out too, Nyarin. But I figured out what you're trying to say, Nyarin. It's good that you understand. With that, we'll go to a recently popular... No, wait. Popularity doesn't matter. We'll all say what tiles we're into recently, then throw them in the pot and boil them all up. Alright. First must be you, BT-san. Me. It's very difficult for me to pick out one of them, but... I'll go with the safe choice and suggest... Zen Maiden? Not sure about this one. This one's not ringing any bells for me. Oh! Safe choice? I think not. You get right to the point, Nyarin. A heaping helping of tsundere heroines is just what this age needs right now, Nyarin. No, that isn't all. It's originality. Having a hikikomori protagonist in a modern world where the problem is only whispered about. It's novelty. Having a figure itself, in the age of figure moe, be the heroine. And yet, it still has the gold-paved high road Japanese boys can't help but yearn for. A lover appearing without them doing any work. It's the so-called Esper formula firmly in place. Esper formula, that's ringing a bell, but I'm not sure for what. With an essence so perfectly aligned with the times, I can see why that alone would make it a huge hit. Yes, it's suitable for the first ingredients in the melting pot of 07's next work. Then next, Yata Zakura-san should take a turn. I have a bad feeling about what he'll say, though. Foo. If you want the high road, you can leave it to jump stories out of things. I'm not sure what that is. Whoa! If I have to suggest Sakigake, Jokyu? Yeah, I'm not sure what this is either. No! I knew it! The Golden Age constructed by Jump. Wait, Jump? Like Shonen Jump? Is also the Golden Age of battles. Any of us Japanese boys can attest to the fact that the catharsis of battle is engraved in our very genes. All those strong enemies standing in your way every episode, and you, alongside reliable friends, take down one foe after another. Normally, battle stories are weak in that having a single protagonist leads to the battles turning into the same thing every time. But by increasing the number of protagonists, they overcome that problem with variation. The composition of that battle serialization that lasted for such a long time through different cards and situations each battle. I see. You could call it the culmination of the fighting genre that Shusha has spent 100 years constructing. I'm not sure what this is either. The passionate catharsis in its battle spans time and space. Thanks to the Golden work called Fate, it has proven its unchanging attractiveness even in the 21st century. However, Zen and Shuku already feel like chlorinated cleaner and acidic cleaner. How naive! Juku's characters might be macho, school-uniformed men, and they might be pungent with sweat, but that's merely the outlook of Jump Comics, and only because Hoku no Ken was its prime at the time, Nyarin. In other words, the essence itself is not in the visuals, but in the catharsis of strings of battles, and the myriad of combat situations, and that would never be opposed to Zen Nyarin. Yes. A sharp reading as always from you, Yatazagura-kun. You are correct! In other words, we must elevate all the games that appear in Zen's story as well as Juku's fighting tournament. In other words, the school's principal must be a NEET and a shut-in. I don't think that school would even be able to function in that case. And then the tsundere heroines appear uninvited. His action-packed days with those girls is only the opening. Eventually, he'll announce the ass game out of nowhere. Oh, this looks new. What's this? What? Why would there be a dueling ground there? Now then, is there anyone who would take on Zen Maiden's second doll? Something, Kana. That's where this Ichigo should come in for real. I have no idea if that's in reference to Bleach or not. What? No, it's time for this Suiseke to appear. Out of the way! This opponent is already far beyond your measly tactics. What? Are you blank coup? But now we have no choice to appear whatsoever. Oh, you seem competent in your martial arts. Then why not try this out? The ultimate way to duel. The Arisu Gemu. I know I butchered that. What? The Arisu Gemu? You know what that is, so blank seke? The Arisu Gemu, or Ale Game. Due to constant conflict, ancient China made it an urgent mission to find everyone skilled in military matters they could. To do that, the emperor at the time used a cruel trial called the Arisu Gemu to try and gather every martial artist with unusual talents. Its incredible cruelty was said to only allow 1 in every 100 to live through the trial and serve. Yikes. But it honored the warriors who received the right to undergo this trial. And it said that when the messenger of the emperor came to villages to request participation in the Arisu Gemu, he was welcomed with open arms. Also, this messenger, according to historical legend, wore a rabbit mask. And in England, Lewis Carroll, having gotten the idea from it, later wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But most people don't know it originated from the Arisu Gemu. I wonder if that's actually true. From Minmay Publishing Company, Jin-sama and the Lactic Acid Bacteria. If you want to play the violin that much, I'll let you play it for the Enma in hell. I did it! A stunning turnaround victory for Blank Coup! Wait, Goku maybe? Maybe it's Goku? Did you see that, Suigen Blank? Take the hint already and surrender. Coo. What fools. I've only been using my low-rank minions. But this is where the Ale game truly becomes hell. These aren't even my elite mooks. And that's what the story is going to be like. Meep. I have no idea whether that's a novel idea or a horrendous one. Yes. It's novel, but nevertheless, I feel like some other circle has already written something like that. Yes, I'm sure another circle has already thought of this. Great minds think alike? But we're not done yet. We still only mixed together 2 things. With a 3rd thing added to the pot, we'll have something horrendously novel. Horrendous would definitely be an apt description. Meep! A dryad spirit could probably do it. We'll be looking forward to your help. Last up is Ryushiki-san. What kind of work will you suggest to us, Nyarin? I'm glad you asked. This is the big hitting tile Ryushiki 07 will propose. Cuckoo! Yes, a super huge tile you couldn't possibly remove from the West Hall. The Ultimate King completely dominating Comiquette's Western Hall right now. Not only does it have a fandom and a user base, but a creative base spread far and deep. So famous that music circles are said to be music circles until they make an arrangement CD of it. The tile that has filled the entire top 10 list of music CD sales at Toronto something for years with its own genre. Yes! You don't mean... Yes, the greatest peak of shooting games, the legend among the Dojin world, the Toho series. I was able to figure that one out right away. Still need to play those games someday. The official ones. I've tried a couple fan games out before, but I never really delved too deeply into them. Toho seems to be one of those series that I would actually really enjoy. From a lore perspective, for sure, if nothing else. Story and lore. Well, you really did pull out the big guns, Nyarin. Meep. But the Toho series is a shooting game. We can't make shooting games in our circle. Of course, we can't extract the essence of the shooting game genre, but we can more than easily extract the essence of its captivating world. We have the kind of jump still encouraging Japanese boys today. Something Juku. Added to something Zen Maiden, which stormed the anime world by hitting every one of this generation's needs. And now we have the Dojin world's King of Kings, the Toho series. Kukuku. By combining these three incredible essences, we are sure to get results. It is now our fate to give birth to the ultimate work that will dominate the 21st century. I understand your logic, Nyarin, but what part of the essence do we suck out, Nyarin? Like BT-san said before, we can't make shooting games in our circle, Nyarin. Meep. Does Toho's appeal lie outside the shooting genre? Well, given the sheer fucking massive number of fan art I occasionally stumble across here and there, looks like it to me. Would it be the unprecedented feeling of a mysterious world? That's another part people love. Indeed. It is a fantasy world where anything goes. Anything? Its unique setting, completely different from an extension of the so-called JRPG-style worlds that already exist, certainly stands out. After all, it has shrine maidens, maids, blazers, gothic lolitas, sweet lolitas, and even Japanese lolitas in it. But what about the glazers? Does it have glazers? Even when they're all in one place, none of it feels unnatural in that world. Zen. Or Zun? I beg of you, make one of the next new bosses wear a school swimsuit. And those outfits, normally impossible, are possible in Gensokyo. In Gensokyo, throwing in other characters is no problem at all. Please, make the next new boss have a school swimsuit. I wonder if they ever actually made a character just based off Ryoshiki's request here. I'll laugh if that's the case. Meep. I understand that Ryoshiki plays it out of his extremely biased tastes. Now I know why he still hasn't unlocked the extra stages. Not of that wicked heart. Extra stages. 2. To sum up what Ryoshiki-san wants to say, it's like this, right, Nyarin? We can have all kinds of outfits that suit our tastes, all appear in one game. Yahoo! Yahoo! Meep. I would think there are things we could learn from Toho, but... For now, Ryukishi is referring to that when he talks about what to extract. There's something. Yumineko possibly gained some inspiration from Toho. The gods will bow before us, for when these three elements are combined, the new world that results will bend its knee. Now go! Triple god combination! What? Why would there be a dueling ground there? Now come. I am the one, the only Suigin something, the first doll of Zen Maiden. I shall not complain. I don't care how many of you come at me at once. What do we do? Who will go? In a dueling ground, we can't use all our skills, can we? Kukuku. Interesting. Goku, you seem confident in your martial arts, but you cannot prevail over me, Suigin something. If you fought like this, it will only end with a boring conclusion. And that won't awaken the fight within me. Therefore I, Suigin something, will give you one handicap. What's she doing? Suigin blank is drawing a line around her. It's like a sumo ring. Kukuku. I, Suigin something, will defeat the likes of you without taking a step out of this circle. So what are you gonna do? Launch ki blasts at him? If you can force me to step outside it, I will admit defeat and serve you while wearing a school swimsuit. Careful now. I don't think Chi-Chi would appreciate you doing this, Goku. Heh. With that condition, I accept. Goku, no! Why don't I do the same thing then? What? Goku is drawing a line around her. Wait. Goku is a woman in this? I'll fight without leaving this circle as well. If I take a step out, I'll admit defeat and serve you in bloomers and a collar. What? Goku! Kukuku! You're quite presumptuous to think you can take on me, Suigin something. You'll regret that soon enough. Take this! Rosen Maiden Ultimate Attack! What on earth am I reading? You left the circle. As promised, you'll change into a school swimsuit right now, right here, and serve all of us here. What? But it can't be. Ugh. It's really funny how Suigin something's voice goes back to normal after she loses. Nyari. Kukuku. Fun lactic acid bacteria times with Jin-sama in a school swimsuit. Oh, wow. I'm bringing her home with me. Down in arena, I see. Should we be leaving our circles next to work to someone like this? I'm very concerned. It looks like we should remove Ryushiki from the picture before thinking about Yumineko, Nyarin. You heard them, Nipa. I'll make an actual game, so don't worry about anything. Keep an eye out for what we're temporarily calling Yumineko When They Cry, Nyarin. We look forward to your continued support, Nya. We look forward to it, Nipa. In my view, everything went wrong after Ryushiki mixed all those things together. Bold of you to criticize your boss like this. To correct it a little, we'll have Daisen add something to the mix, Nyarin. Meep. If Daisen adds in something normal, I'm sure our strange Yamanabe will be a little better. Then I'll summon Daisen. Apparently, whoever this Daisen person is, they're smoking hot. Daisen, it's been a very long time, Nyarin. Heh. Yes, hello. It's Dai. But really, what have you called me here? Why have you called me here so suddenly for? Meep. We want you to suggest a manga or anime that left an impression on you. I see. There's so many to choose from. But what about Dragon Ball? Foo. Excellent choice, Daiswan. Let's go with blank Zen slash something Joku slash Toho slash plus Dragon Ball. We're getting into Ultimate Showdown, Ultimate Destiny level territory here. How long is this gonna go on for? There was a battleground here? Suigen put up a brave fight, but for nothing, and now she's being jostled around. And then, the image of a girl with a dauntless smile. What? Are you Barasui something? Kukuku. You understand, don't you? If you lose, you'll have to play an embarrassing punishment game. Suigen something, you two. If you lose, it's bloomers, 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 bloomers. In dark blue and deep red with white lines. Ha ha! Was the bloomer bit at the end supposed to be a reference to Dragon Ball? I could believe that, actually. We have Bulma, we have, you know, Bulma and her whole family all being named after essentially undergarments. I had a vague idea, but it's all vulgar as usual, Nipa. I'm starting to worry about our future. Is our circle really going to be alright? You might want to give us some time to consider whether or not we should stay together from now on. Every man and woman for themselves! Please continue supporting our circle in the future, and don't abandon us, Nyarin. Nipa? Okay, so they keep calling it circle, so I'm assuming that these are all just independent artists separate from Ryushiki himself. So he's not necessarily their boss, just affiliates, if anything. Well, that was something. My throat is starting to get a bit sore, so yeah, good time as any to bring things to a close, I suppose. But yeah, I didn't think we'd get done with this quite this soon. So, Ray is over with. So I guess on the whole, I enjoyed Ray. Higurashi Hen is definitely the highlight of Ray for me personally. While the other arcs are fun little side stories here to enjoy. But by themselves, I don't think they really would have been worth getting Ray for personally. So yeah, Higurashi Hen is definitely the star of the show for this particular bundle of stories. And I already made my thoughts clear on that when I completed that. Still as good enough of a conclusion for the series as any, if I'm being honest. So, all we have left now, before we move on to Go, Higurashi When They Cry Go, is Higurashi When They Cry Ho Plus. Holy shit. I'm almost done with the actual sound novels. I'm getting there. Still can't believe it, but yeah. This all might be coming to an end sometime this year, even at the rate I'm going. Well, no, not sometime this year. It is going to come to an end this year. Probably in a few months, even for all I know. But yeah. The end is in sight. I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Still don't know quite how to feel about that. Well, I hope those of you who've been following the series, following Ray up to this point, have enjoyed my coverage of it. And I hope that you guys will be will come back and tune in for me covering Ho Plus. So I guess now I gotta get my hands on a copy of Ho Plus and get the mods for that set up. But in the meantime, then I think, well, if my schedule will allow it tomorrow, I'll see if maybe I can do a stream on Noelle the Mortal Fate. Not 100% certain about it yet, but if I can, I'll try to shoot for somewhere around the same time I started this stream today, if not sooner. It'll depend on what goes on with me tomorrow here, because I've got an event I will be attending in the morning, and it could bleed into the afternoon, so I'm not 100% certain I'll be able to actually make time for a stream tomorrow just yet. But if I do, then, well, you guys will see it in your subscription feeds, I'm sure. So keep an eye on your feeds for now, and notifications for now, is all I can say. But for now, I wish you all a pleasant day or evening, whatever part of the world that you happen to be in. Thank you very much for your time, as always. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And I will see you all next time for Noelle the Mortal Fate. Take care.